both camps, from both sides of the political divide. Let's now go back to that generic HIV drug. Let's bring in the head of the National AIDS and STI Control Program, Dr. Martin Sirengo. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Ben.
Kenya is the first country to use this, but this was discovered back in 2013 in the US.
Right.
How big of a breakthrough or shot in the arm, if you may, in the fight against AIDS is this drug?
Thank you. This drug called dolutegravir, it's in short called DTG. That's how we popularly call it. Was introduced way back in 2013 in the US and Europe, and it had been in use there. Mm-hmm. But until this year, it was only available in the original form. And therefore, this year we are lucky to get the generic version of it, okay, which comes at just $4 for this pack of 30. The original goes for about $300.
All right. What's the difference between the original and the generic version?
They're basically the same. The only difference is the manufacturer, because the original is a drug from the company that discovered the drug. But the generic is the same drug, but made by a different company that have been given a license to manufacture it.
All right.
Yes. So normally it comes, the generic normally comes after a certain period of time when the whoever discovered has recouped their profits.
All right.
Yes.
What does this drug do?
This drug is special in the sense that it acts at a different place on the HIV virus from the other drugs that we have. And because of that, it has the ability to suppress the virus very quickly. It has less side effects. It interacts less with the other drugs if the patient is on other drugs. For instance, a patient on TB, like you saw the case of Dottie.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And how effective is this drug in terms of how much does it help fighting that HIV in an infected person's body? So
the standard way of treatment is that you'll get a pill that has 3 drugs in one. We have to combine 3 drugs into one to make an ARV pill to treat someone living with HIV. So this drug is just one of those 3. So by adding it to the regimen, remove one and add this one, you make the regimen more effective. So for instance, the 20,000 people that have been shown to be the ones going to benefit are those that have reported intolerance. They have side effects to one of the drugs called efavirenz. So we are going to remove the efavirenz and replace it with this.
All right.
To add to the 2 drugs to constitute the regimen.
All right.
Yes.
And there's a theory, I don't know how true it is, that the ARVs, once you break, taking them faithfully,
yes,
it reduces, it dramatically reduces the effectiveness. Is that true? And does that apply to this new drug?
Bottom line is the medicines have to be taken as prescribed religiously. It doesn't matter whether it is this drug or the other drug. Right now, there are few people who may not be doing well with the first-line treatment that we have now. And if we look deep into that group category, you'll find that majority of them actually are those who are not taking the drug very well.
All right.
Yes. So bottom line is take the drug as it should be taken. It does not matter which type.
All right.
Yes.
How is this available to everybody here in Kenya?
This drug is currently available for 3 categories of people. The first one are those who are intolerant to efavirenz, like I mentioned, the 20,000.
20,000.
Because of its quicker ability to suppress the virus, we have also recommended it for people who inject drugs because they tend to have an aggressive HIV in them. We are also going to use it for reconstituting the 3rd-line treatment. When someone fails the first line, normally they go to the 2nd line. When they fail the 2nd line, they go to the 3rd line. So we're going to use it into the 3rd line for treatment, yes.
Now, Kenya being the first country in Africa that this drug is making its way into, is this a kind of test drug?
Mm-hmm.
Would you call it that?
No, it's not. It's not a test drug. In actual fact, we have all the evidence that the drug works. This drug has actually been in use in Kenya for close to 2 years as a third-line component.
All right.
So we have experience using it already. We are only expanding the number of people who need to use it. We are lucky to be the first country to use this generic version in Africa. Botswana was the first to use the drug, but they used the originator version.
All right.
Yes, and it's costing them that much to be able to treat their people.
All right. And in the fight against HIV and AIDS here in Kenya, what do we expect now that we have this drug? What does it do as the head of NASCOP?
Yes.
You've been taking a look at the numbers the last 2 years, you say, that we've been using this.
Yeah.
What's the effect?
The effect is that this drug has the ability to suppress viral load faster, meaning that we have dividends we can reap from that. Right. It takes an HIV-positive person to infect the negative person. So if we can introduce this drug to scale so that all the people who need it are using it the first line with quicker suppression of the virus, right, then we are likely to benefit in reduction of new infections. Right. Yes.
How has it been received in the market?
It has been received quite well in the market. Actually, yesterday we were launching it. We had all our partnerships, the development partners, implementing partners, networks of people living with HIV who have been pushing for this drug to come to Kenya. And they have received it well. So we are looking forward to reaping the dividends for this drug.